This year I had to engineer my own interesting upgrade to the iPhone 13 because the Pro and the Pro Max just weren't enough. It's what led me to the iPhone 13 mini. But there's one thing I really want Apple to do with their iPhone lineup. Hello, I'm Mark Ellis and welcome back to Apple Insider. Now, my iPhone 12 Pro never let me down, ever. And I can, with touch wood, I hopefully can say the same thing for the iPhone 13 mini. In fact, I can probably say the same thing about all of the iPhones I've had over the last few years. They're so good, they're so well made, they're reliable, iOS is fantastic. But that's part of the issue. And it's also why I'm in search of a far more interesting iPhone. Now, I'll let you into a little secret. I have been lusting after the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 ever since it was launched. And that's weird because I was one of those many people who laughed at the return of flip phones. But I think Samsung might be onto something here. And it's partly why I'd love to see a folding iPhone. And don't worry, I'm not suggesting they should ditch what they're doing currently. Why would they? In 2020, 50% of Apple's revenue came from iPhone sales. That was around $274 billion. So something's clearly working for Apple, and it has done ever since the first iPhone was launched. But I don't know, I just want them to unbutton their shirt just a little bit and give us something slightly more interesting in their lineup. So I've got a few reasons why I think Apple should give us a folding iPhone alongside their normal fantastic range of smartphones. The first reason is Samsung is looking increasingly interesting, and we know this bothers Apple. Now, there's been some really odd attempts by Samsung to set the Galaxy phone line apart from the competition, hand gestures and lots of weird throw them at the wall and see what sticks features. And I'm keeping an eye on companies like Samsung more than ever because what they're doing is genuinely interesting. And I think the latest range of Samsung phones makes for more interesting headline grabbing features. And okay, you could say the same thing to a degree about the iPhone, but the most interesting thing that people have said about the new iPhone is the camera capabilities and the better battery. Indeed, the iPhone 13 has been really well received by critics, but it's still just another iPhone. But the Z Flip or Z Flip and Galaxy Fold, they're just fascinating. And more importantly than anything, they've got that wantability factor. And that's something I lost for the iPhone quite a long time ago. The second reason is that flip phones are just really cool, and sometimes that's all that matters. I love flipping technology closed, whether it's the AirPods Pro, for example, flicking that closed, or even just the keys to our car, flicking the key open. Oh, and of course, flicking a pocket knife open to do some unboxing. I just love that satisfying click that you get from doing that. Admit it, you've done it yourself. If you've got AirPods Pro, several times I can guarantee you've got the case and flicked it open and closed for absolutely no reason at all, other than you enjoy doing it. Now, just imagine if you could do that with an iPhone. It would be really satisfying, wouldn't it? Lastly, flip phones have actually got a huge amount of utility as well. I think personally, the days of large smartphones are on the wane, I think, really. I've got lots of friends and family and people who comment on YouTube who say they're a little bit fed up with the size of the Pro and the Pro Max iPhones, and I completely get that. I switched from the Pro Max to the Pro for that reason. I wanted a smaller, slightly more wieldy phone. Now, I've done it again this year, so I've gone from the Pro, the 12 Pro, to the 13 mini. And I've done that because I want this kind of one-handed use where I don't have to do finger gymnastics to get to where I want to be. And it was a really smart move. However, imagine then being able to fold this in two and then have a half-sized phone, which really easily fits in your pocket. That's really interesting. And then when you add to the fact that when you fold it over, there's a little screen on the other side that gives you notification information and all sorts of stuff that can just be very glanceable and useful to just look at whenever you need to. Again, that gets really interesting. And what is even more compelling about this is that if Apple goes down this route, you can guarantee they'll do something more interesting than Samsung. They'll do something, I'm not clever enough to work out what that would be. Apple has this habit of doing things and inventing stuff and coming up with features that you just think, why didn't I think of that? You can guarantee they would do the same thing with a flip version of the iPhone. But they would do it, and it would be that all-important, as I say, why didn't I think of it factor? And it would set apart the iPhone Flip, if that's what they call it, from the competition. Now, there are problems with flip phones. There's no getting away from this. So, for example, there is the crease. All of these flip phones on the market at the moment have a noticeable crease that you can both see and feel as using a phone. That doesn't sound great, and it also doesn't sound like the kind of thing that Apple would put up with. A lot of these phones also don't fold completely shut because of the way the screen folds. And let's be honest, that hinge is likely to give up after lots and lots of use. But they are getting better, and as I keep mentioning, this is what makes them interesting. I really think they're onto something. I'm getting a bit bored of rock solid tech. Don't get me wrong, I need it to run my business, I need it to rely on for my daily life and for my security, but once in a while, I'd like something that is a little bit more adventurous from Apple when it comes to the iPhone. But what do you think? What do you think Apple should do next with the iPhone? Are they okay just sticking with this very utilitarian, tried and tested, rectangular slab of aluminium and glass? Is this enough? Or, like me, do you want to see them do something different? Do you want to see a flip phone? Do you want to see a version of, or a smaller version of the Apple Pencil that sticks into the phone a little bit like a Galaxy Note? Is there something that I haven't thought of that you think Apple should do immediately with the iPhone? As always, guys, let us know in the comments. Get involved. I really hope this video sparked some interesting ideas in your head about how Apple could take the iPhone further. As always, please like and subscribe and hit that bell icon if you don't want to miss any future Apple Insider content. But that just leaves it for me to say thank you very, very much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.